Okay, it's 2 a.m. here, about on the East Coast. Doing some inventory, consolidating, organization. You can see here I have my box system. You'll see a lot of resellers here on eBay doing the box system. To my knowledge, it was Chris from Daily Refinement who kind of pioneered the box storage system. I might be wrong, but yeah. So if you see anybody doing this, um, don't think they just came up with it on their own and trying to sell you stuff like Amazon links and stuff like that. Um, and just while we're on the topic, like I didn't buy anything special. These are just cardboard boxes that I cut up. You can see like they're kind of raw here. I just cut them up. When you order, I found that the boxes that they send the flat rate envelopes in, right? So this is a box that they send the padded flat rates in. They're pretty long, and I've been cutting them in half long ways, and then just kind of like taping the edges down, and I get two boxes out of that. They're about 21 or 22 inches long and about 10 inches wide. I actually cut one. I don't know what I did with it. I actually took one and cut it in another 2 inches, and I brought it down to 8 inches wide, and I stretched it a little bit further. So I did 8 by like 23, 24, which is the exact specifications that I believe Chris from Daily Refinement started. My name is also Chris, and you can take my half-assed advice, my hearsay type advice also, or you can take someone else's advice. All right, but I'm just telling you, this is what I'm doing here, and it's working for me so far. Just because I'm getting more of a variety of items, and that's the one thing you're gonna run into. So I sell clothing. I used to sell a lot of vintage clothes, mostly t-shirts, right? I was one of the t-shirt guys that everybody likes to make fun of. But I took all the tees and I would just lot them up right in a tote, and I would do movie tees in one tote. I would do like I had a bunch of liquid blue shirts. If you don't know what liquid blue is, they do like crazy graphics like dragons and skulls and stuff. I actually have my liquid blue tote here. I know you're not, there's nothing you can really see there, but I still have a lot of that stuff toted up, right? It is, I find that if you're selling stuff like this, like the vintage and everything, it is easier to kind of consolidate it in just these totes. So that way I know which tote here has the stuff, even though they're not labeled. I can just reach in there and pull out what I need. But selling your everyday average basic men's and women's clothing, the stuff that normal people are wearing, not, vintage collectors and nerds and stuff like that kind of stuff. I want to be able to not have to think about where I put it. How do you store, do you put all men's activewear together? Do you mix men's and women's activewear? Do you put all the button ups in one, sweaters in another, polo shirts in one? I'm not trying to have a mountain of like totes in here. It's already a mess in here. So that's why we're putting everything in the cardboard box poly bag SKU system. So we just have everything here's numbered, right? I just handwrite it. Like I said, this is a very half-assed version. I'm not buying anything. I don't want to buy anything. Like you can buy the boxes to the size that you need, or you can be like me and be cheap and just cut them to the length that you need. And then these are the mailers that I send the stuff out in anyway. So I'm just folding the stuff up nice, putting it in here, handwriting with my Sharpie the number. So when the order comes in my item specifics, I have my custom SKU number, right? So all I have to do is look on in the order form and it'll say the SKU number. So if I have order number 1, it's right here and I can just reach into the box. Or if I have order number 23, right? I mean, item number 23, it's right here. and I just reach in and I grab it. When I shipped out orders yesterday, I actually was looking for, I had sold a Patagonia sweater, and I had all of my other stuff packed up. And I was like, man, where is this sweater at? And I'm so used to digging through totes and cardboard boxes. It was in my new SKU system, and it was right there, and I still missed it. Right? It was like item number 10 or something, because I just started doing this like 2 weeks ago. I'm just trying to get organized in here. So I guess the advice is get organized. Even if you just do totes, you want to get organized. You don't want to have a pile. I've been the pile guy. Okay. It's not fun. You can easily overtake your storage space. If you don't have a lot of storage space to begin with, then you're really going to be in trouble. Um, if you also have an abundance of space, that can be just as bad. I used to have my first storage area that I used was the attic of the house that I rented, and we lived in a half double, and I had the whole length of the house. The attic was finished, and I just filled it up with all kinds of stuff. And I have probably 3 times the amount of stuff I had back then, and this is just an 11 by 11 room. And like, it was such a mess up in that attic because I was like, oh, there's so much space, I can just throw stuff in there. And I literally had piles that I was digging out of. Nothing was in totes, nothing was boxed up. It was just like, I just folded all, like I said, I used to sell a lot of t-shirts, so I just folded the shirts and just stacked them up. But obviously, you know, when you start to get too high, you start throwing more stuff on, it just turns into a pile, right? So now we're here trying to get organized. I'm trying to get as much as I can out of this small room here. Um, so far, I've had like many different iterations of the storage system in here. But right now, I think this is the best it's ever been. It also helps that I like cut down my store almost in half. I probably like a third. I got rid of like a third of the stuff that was in my store. Over the summer, I think was the peak, the most stuff that I've ever had in the store. I was hovering at around 1,200 items. But a lot of it was junk. It was nothing good. I was getting a lot of women's clothing for free, and you know, you're like, well, it's free. Why don't you just list it and sell it? But the problem is, um, a lot of the stuff I was getting was just like Banana Republic, Talbots, J. Jill, those that kind of stuff. Just like average women's clothing brands. Nothing that goes for a lot of money. A lot of it only sells for a few dollars. And I said, okay, well, can I, you know, build up into like a high volume sales model selling all of these women's clothes, right? But the problem was that I wasn't getting nearly enough of them to justify a volume sales model, and I wasn't making enough money off of them to really justify having them in my small store. So they were basically just taking up space here. So I got rid of a lot of it, and now I'm down to around 690 items. I don't know. It's somewhere around there. And I feel like shrinking the store down, it's finally starting to like normalize a little bit, because I was wondering like, okay, I'm shrinking the store down. When is the sell through going to match the input of the items that I'm putting in the store? So I still think there's a good 40 items here that I have that could probably go. I could probably get rid of like 40 things right now today, and take the size of the store down even further. And I want to believe that I'm probably at like almost 100% sell through rate on my whole store. Um, but it's really just a matter of uh, kind of, I need to kind of push my sell through up just a little bit more to get over that threshold of 100%. Um, or I can just like I can cheat and just get rid of a bunch of stuff, and then I'll be there too. Um, but I'm just trying to be as efficient as possible over here. It's not easy. Um, Something to think about. All right. Maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow with another video. See ya.